So hi, my name is Arshi Khan and you're watching MBA with Arshi Khan, and today we have Karan, right? इस वीडियो का थंबनेल आपने देखा होगा, बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट कैट के बाद कई सारे एंट्रेंस एग्जाम के लिए प्रिपेयर कर रहे होते हैं, जिसमें से एक एंट्रेंस एग्जाम होता है एनमैट का, राइट? बिकॉज यस, NMIMS Mumbai is one of the top B schools when it comes to India. So today we'll be talking about कि आप कैसे स्ट्रैटेजाइज कर सकते हो, कैसे स्कोर कर सकते हो और कैसे क्रैक कर सकते हो इस कॉलेज को, एंड अपना जो ड्रीम है एक अच्छे B स्कूल से MBA करने का, वो कैसे फुलफिल कर सकते हो. So I'll ask Karan to introduce yourself a bit so that जो भी viewers हैं, they'll get to have an idea about yourself. Yeah, Karan.
Yeah, thanks a lot. So hello everyone, my name is Karan and I belong to Gujarat, and initially I did my graduation from NMIMS Mumbai itself. It is Mukesh Patel, it's engineering college, and right after that I chose to go into an MBA path. I tried to get into an MBA in a good B school, prestigious B school. And for that, I had applied for various various competitive exams, such as CAT and MAT and all. So by God's grace, I got good scores in my NMAT and fortunately got into NMIMS. So and currently, I'm in the HR batch of NMIMS Mumbai campus.
So Karan, I have this one question from your introduction. जब भी हम इंटरव्यू के लिए जाते हैं, क्वेश्चंस कहीं ना कहीं जो हैं वो आपके इंट्रोडक्शन से आते हैं. पहला क्वेश्चन है that I think स्टूडेंट्स के लिए थोड़ा सा इजी रहेगा कि आपने कितना स्कोर किया था एनमैट के अंदर, so that आप कहीं ना कहीं उनको बता सकोगे कि वो कैसे अपने आप को प्रिपरेशन वाइज स्ट्रैटेजाइज कर सकते हैं. Yes.
Yeah, so first attempt score was 249 for me and second was 255. So I'll directly jump to the preparation part. So most of the preparation part was related to my CAT journey. I was aiming for top IIMs only. NMAT was a kind of a second option for me, just for a backup. So majority of the preparation was, it revolved around solving the questions on day-to-day basis. Daily 2 to 3 hours of practice, and each hour I dedicated to each and every category. We had verbal ability, we have data interpretation, and we have quants. So daily 1 hour I dedicated to it. And being a student, I had to take out that part from my schedule every day because I had college from 9 to 5 daily. And preparation was going in that way. And apart from that, on weekends, I try to give more and more mocks as possible because, by giving mocks only, you'll be able to judge where do you stand, and you are able to rate yourself and make some improvements in your, scores after that. And doing the mocks and reviewing is the most critical part of it, because if you are not able to identify where did you fall short during your exam, then there is, the chances of improvement in next exam also reduces. So, critically observing where didn't you score in the exam becomes very important. So that was something I took care of. In the weekends, I used to review my tests as well, and then try to make some improvements and get some guidance from my peers who are doing it. We had some groups, so we discussed questions and all there, and we had many of the reading material available, and we had many of the material available on the online platforms as well. So all these contributed to the score, I would say.
Yeah. So the first piece of advice, what I wanted to conclude with what Karan said is कि कहीं ना कहीं usually क्या होता है, we always think that अगर आपको CAT में score करना है and MAT में score करना है, तो बच्चों को ये लगता है we need to give 8 to 10 hours, right? But he was managing his college, right? And साथ ही साथ 2 से 3 घंटे preparation करके he made it into this college, right? मेरा क्वेश्चन है Karan, right? कि आपने बोला आप 2 से 3 घंटे प्रिपरेशन करते थे. होता क्या है, बहुत सारे सेक्शंस होते हैं. कुछ ऐसे सेक्शंस होते हैं जो हमारे लिए बीइंग अ स्टूडेंट इजी है, कुछ ऐसे सेक्शंस होते हैं जो बीइंग अ स्टूडेंट हमारा थोड़ा सा वीक पॉइंट होता है. और हर एग्जाम में कहीं ना कहीं एक कट ऑफ हर सेक्शन का होता है. तो हमें क्या स्ट्रैटेजी, क्योंकि हमारे पास टाइम कम है, अब कैट भी है और बाकी सारे एग्जाम्स भी हैं, राइट, एंड मैट भी है, तो उस बेसिस में आप कैसे अपने स्ट्रॉन्ग सेक्शंस को मैनेज कर सकते हो और वीक पे स्पेशली कैसे काम कर सकते हो? What is your call on it?
Yeah, so we had one strategy which was devised for students. I mean, for the, I mean, I would say the classes which I went for. So we had SWOT analysis: strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats. So first of all, what I did was I identified the key areas where I was strong, and I kept it aside because I knew at any day if I would be getting questions from those areas, I would be able to deal with it very easily. So I kept it aside first, and then I identified my weak areas. Weak areas were the ones, I mean, say for example, being an engineer, I was not good in verbal ability, and many of the engineers face those issues because I mean, we are not I mean, exposed to reading much, so that becomes an issue. So I had to prepare for that, and in order to cope with that, I used to, I mean, read upon articles. I mean, daily 2 to 3 articles would be sufficient for reading, and I used to build up my vocabulary very well because it was something which I found it created a good foundation, and it kind of gave me a confidence that I would be able to deal with, I mean, heavy language which would be thrown upon me during the exam. So that was there, and opportunity are the things where you are not actually good at, but you can be good at if you practice a bit. So those are the areas where I try to practice a lot on daily basis so that I am able to make it my strength as well. And threats are something you are able to identify when you go through your exams, that I mean, आपको पता चल जाता है कि this sort of question, say for example permutation combination, ये तो नहीं होने वाला. So those are the things which you need to avoid during the exams, and so that in order to know these things, you first I mean, kind of need to give a couple of mocks to begin with, and then you would be able to identify what are your I mean, SWOT areas: strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats.
Yeah, so I think with your answer, I got one more question in my mind. How to, utilize your that exam का time जब होता है, हमने preparation तो कर ली, but वो जब हमारे पास 2 घंटे 3 घंटे का time है, उस point of time पे कई बार, because I gave my JEE का exam, right, and I know that होता क्या है कि आप एकदम ब्लैंक हो जाते हो कई बार पेपर में कुछ भी, तो उसको कैसे मैक्सिमाइज करें, और अगर हमें लग रहा है कि यार ये पेपर तो एकदम आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स है जो मैंने सोचा था, तो उस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम पे कैसे हैंडल करना चाहिए?
Yeah, so this was the thing which I faced during my CAT 2020 exam. I actually fumbled up during my verbal ability section. So what I did is I tried to go to the things which were easily scoreable. I mean, for which you can easily score, and those things which are quite easy to deal with at that point in time. Say for example, reading comprehensions were there which were very difficult in CAT 2020. So I skipped those. I try not to give much attention to it, though I practiced a lot for it. And then I directly jumped to the questions. Say, for example, we have para summary. So those were the things which were quite easy and quite solvable in less amount of time. So directly jumping to those questions which would kind of boost you and which you would be able to solve, you can go, directly jump to that, so that at least you can score minimum which you had have in mind. So matlab ki chalo, in worst condition, at least I would be scoring this much in this section, so at least you have that much grab of your marks in that. So when you fumble and all, and then try to not have a spillover effect. Say for example, I'm not able to deal with my verbal ability section, so it should not hamper my performance in other sections as well, as in quants and as in DILR, because those are the things which are my strengths, and I do not want the performance of my prior performance to affect those, because those are the things which would get me more percentile. So I would say restricting your prior emotions would be the key to I would say deal with that stress. Nothing else.
Yeah, so moving to the next question, right? ये बहुत सारे students के दिमाग में होता है, मैंने एग्जाम दे लिया, मैंने अच्छा स्कोर भी कर लिया, मेरे पास मेरे रिजल्ट्स हैं. Now moving to the next stage, GD, PI, written ability test, depending upon college. अब आपने कितना ही अच्छा स्कोर कर लिया हो, आप इसमें नहीं परफॉर्म कर पाए, तो आपका पूरा जो मेहनत है शुरू से लेकर एंड तक वो कहीं ना कहीं खत्म सा हो जाता है, राइट? तो किस तरह से प्रिपरेशन पैरेलली मैनेज करनी रहती है, किस तरह के क्वेश्चंस पूछे जाते हैं, आप उसके लिए पहले से अपने आप को रेडी कैसे रख सकते हो? कई सारे ऐसे क्वेश्चंस होते हैं जो आपको नहीं पता होते हैं, राइट? तो उस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम पे आप कैसे हैंडल करोगे पैनल को? ये सारी चीजें अगर आप स्टूडेंट्स को बताना चाहो तो.
Yeah, definitely. So jumping to preparation part, so what I personally did was I took notes. I mean, we had GDPR preparations, and I guess each and every class does this. So you can have a separate note for yourself, a kind of diary kind of a thing, and then you can take notes of whatever the faculty out there teaches you what to do, what to read, and they conduct sessions. So you can take note of it, and then you can mark the critical points out of there, which you find that those could be the questions which you would be supposed to answer during an interview. So I did that. Second thing is I was pretty much abreast about the news which was there, and typically the business news and a kind of political news as well, because these are the things which I would say interviewer would ask you. Say for example, he'll ask you that what is the current business news, what is the Indian economy about, and what is the tension going on in the Gulf area and all. So those are the kind of things I took care about. So news was another thing. And third thing is I used to go through the websites of the companies which I was kind of looking for, and which I could speak about during the interview, because many of the times it may happen that the interviewer may ask you that which is the company which you are looking for, or which is the role which you are looking for. So that becomes very critical, that you are aware of the role which you are applying for, say for example marketing or general management or whatever it is, and the company which you are looking for. So what can happen is, if you are going for Unilever, and if it's not there in the portfolio of that college, then the interviewer straight away asks you that how is this possible? You are applying for this, and you may you may struggle with your interview. So those were the things which I took care about. And the question part of it, I would say you must be thorough with your hygiene questions. Say for example, your introduction part, it must be where you should include at least 5 to 6 main achievements of your life which you did, and it should be in a structured way, so that the I would say interviewer can get an idea about it, that what you are and what you are here for. And the second would be why MBA, and why MBA in marketing, or why MBA in specific role for which you are applying. And then the then other hygiene questions such as strengths and weaknesses, and why this college, why this IIM and all. So those are the things to go with.
Yeah, so ये तो आपने बता दिया किस तरह के क्वेश्चंस होते हैं, कैसे प्रिपेयर करना है एंड ऑल दैट स्टफ. इस चीज को कैसे हैंडल करना है कि अगर आपसे कोई सवाल पूछा गया है एंड यू डोंट नो अबाउट इट, राइट, तो उस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम पे कैसे हैंडल करना चाहिए?
Yeah, so what I personally did, and what I asked from others as well. So they replied that you can buy out some time from the interview. Say for example, you can request them, can I have around a minute or a bit to think upon it, and then you should have your pen and paper available with you, so that you are able to jot down some points which though could be irrelevant, but you are showing that you are having some interest, and you are trying to go for it, right? It's not the fact that you are directly denying I cannot, I don't know sir, so sorry for this. So just show that you are pretty much interested for that college, and in order to show that, you can ask to buy out some time. So can I have a minute or so you can just brainstorm about it, and whatever comes in your mind, you can jot down the points, and then you can narrate, or also you can kind of relate it what you have come across up till now, maybe in some way or the other, maybe during news, or maybe during your college, or whatever event it is. So if you are able to find that relation, then it's fine. Otherwise, you can surely buy out some time and note down some points, and then narrate your story.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to ask the last second question. That is, जैसे अभी हम शुरू में डिस्कस कर रहे थे कि आपने right after your engineering you went for your MBA. So as a student we have this question that should we go for our MBA right after our graduation, or should we just go for a work experience? तो कितना मैटर करता है कि अगर आप एज अ फ्रेशर जा रहे हो और एज अ वर्क एक्सपीरियंस जा रहे हो, क्या बहुत डिफरेंस रहता है, और ये स्टूडेंट्स को कैसे डिसाइड करना चाहिए?
Yeah, actually this rests upon the interest part, I would say. For sometimes what happens for fresher is they do not get the kind of job which they are actually looking for, because they have put in so much of efforts into getting into good graduate schools. So they kind of feel that we are not having sufficient amount of I would say package after graduation. So what they think is, I mean, getting into a B school would fetch me good package and all, and directly I can go to it after my graduation. So that is one mindset, I would say. And it comes out of, maybe this is the, I would say, external motivation that I mean, money is something which everyone does MBA, I feel.
Absolutely.
So, and yeah, so this becomes a motivation. It actually drives many of us to go for an MBA. And coming to the difference between a fresher and a work experience person, I would say that work experience definitely helps. So being a fresher, I've identified this. Many of the things which I'm not aware, my peers who are having 2 or 3 years of work experience are well aware of it. But it doesn't make a difference in the long go, and it doesn't make a difference say for example in your placements, in your summers or in your final placement, because by the time you get there you are having enough domain knowledge and you are almost on the similar page. And also, if you do not feel so you are having I mean, you are having less experience, then you can do some projects and all. When you get into college, you can do some committee work, some PORs and all, so that your CV becomes pretty much strong, and you are I mean, in line with the people who are having work ex. So I would say there's not much difference. It's all about the mindset when you are ready for an MBA.
So you know what Karan is trying to say, बहुत ज़्यादा difference नहीं पड़ता है, because usually होता क्या है, हम ये सोचते हैं कि हम experience लेके जाएंगे तो हमारा crack करना easy हो जाएगा, but आपके सामने Karan है, right? Right after his graduation, he went for his MBA, right? तो work experience is not a thing जिसके basis पे आपको कहीं ना कहीं आप interview crack कर सकते हो. Second चीज, जब आप placement के लिए बैठते हो तो 2 साल में आप कहीं ना कहीं इतना ज़्यादा चीजें कर लेते हो, तो that is what B schools are known for, right? कि आपकी personality, आप पूरी तरह से चेंज हो जाते हो, राइट? इट्स ऑल टोटल दूसरी जिंदगी जहाँ पे आप सुबह से लेके शाम तक लगे हुए हो. तो प्लेसमेंट्स के टाइम पे वो भी वहीं बैठे हैं जिस पे आप बैठे हो, तो ये बहुत ज्यादा मैटर नहीं करता है. अब एक लास्ट क्वेश्चन में, पहला तो क्या एडवाइस आप स्टूडेंट्स को देना चाहोगे जो अभी प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हैं इस साल के एस्पिरेंट, और दूसरा, आपने एचआर चूज किया. यूजुअली क्या होता है, स्टूडेंट्स बहुत कंफ्यूज होते हैं व्हेन इट कम्स टू स्पेशलाइजेशन. वे प्रायोरिटी इज लाइक कि यार मुझे फाइनेंस लेना है, मार्केटिंग लेना है, या फिर usually people say, students say कि marketing में ज़्यादा अच्छा एवरेज पैकेज है, HR का एवरेज पैकेज थोड़ा सा कम होता है. तो इसको कैसे आप कहीं ना कहीं एनालाइज कर सकते हो, कैसे आप डिसाइड कर सकते हो दैट आपको कौन सी स्पेशलाइजेशन में जाना चाहिए, एंड क्या पीस ऑफ एडवाइस यू वांटेड टू गिव टू द एस्पिरेंट जो इस साल कहीं ना कहीं टॉप स्कूल्स के लिए फाइट कर रहे हैं?
Yeah, so I mean, for the first question, I would say that just clear your basics as of now, because I'm pretty much sure that all the exams will be arriving soon. I would say in November, I guess. October end is already there, so November will be starting. So piece of advice will be that stay calm and just focus on your basics. Even if you get your basics cleared, I mean, you have won 50 to 60% of your battle for your test. I mean, only there are some questions you would not be able to deal with, but I'm sure with that much, I mean, practice, you would be able to do it for sure. So just, I mean, stay focused and just clear out your basics. It will really help. And this will really help in the adaptive exams such as NMAT, because NMAT is something which many people get good scores. I have identified that last year, many people score around 230, 235 plus. So it was a very, I mean, easy to score exam. So even if the basics are there, then you are sorted for the exams, or most of the exams, I would say. And coming to the stream selection part, I would say I was not sure about either choosing marketing or HR. Finance was definitely not an option for me, because it didn't interest me a lot, and I didn't want to go into that field. I mean, I had given my interview typically based upon marketing domain. Because I had learned more about it, but I didn't study much about HR. But I knew that one course is offered at NMIMS, which is analytics. So analytics was again related to statistics, and it is something of my strength. So because of that, I thought that I can give a shot for HR as well. So fortunately, I got into HR. Marketing, I didn't get. I don't know what happened during an interview. So I got into HR. So it was also an option for me. And yeah, I mean, it solely depends upon the interest part. So where you want to go. And I mean, it's dependent upon the person which branch do you want to explore, and also we need to identify that which branch has got more potential to grow as well. So marketing is evergreen, for sure, and HR is something where I mean, new things are coming up, and it is becoming more futuristic, and people are becoming more involved in the process, and they are now contributing more to the business areas as well. So their contribution is also increasing. So for that fact, I would say I chose HR. And this would be. Is there anything I missed?
No. You cleared, I think, all the questions which was there in the mind of the students. And thank you so much, Karan, for your time. Right? I think ये वीडियो कई सारे एस्पिरेंट्स के लिए हेल्प करेगा जो NMAT के लिए प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं या फिर जिनका ड्रीम कॉलेज है NMI West Mumbai. So I hope आपको ये वीडियो पसंद आया है. अगर कोई सवाल है तो you can let me know in the comment section below. साथ ही साथ Karan का LinkedIn प्रोफाइल भी नीचे डिस्क्रिप्शन में मेंशन है. If you want to connect with him, you can connect him on LinkedIn, right? And for more such a video like this, do like, share, and subscribe.
I hope you liked this video. For more such videos, keep watching our channel.
And do not forget to like, share, and subscribe.